This video is brought to you by...
Hey, what's up? What it is? Yeah, it's your boy AC Green. And we at the end of the year again. And what I came to do is to come and thank you personally for supporting the brand all year long. And also what we want to do over here at Cool Green Clothing to show to you our appreciation and love and support for you that you've been having for us all year long. What we're going to do is we're going to kick Black Friday off early just for you. So go online right now at coolgreenclothing.com and take advantage of these amazing sales that we got going on right now. And also, by the way, you already know, if you ain't cool and getting the green, you're in the way. And that's just basic.
What's going on, YouTube, fam? It's your boy Tony 2 times, and we back with another episode of the Baltimore Way, man. Before I start, be sure to tap that like button. Definitely watch this video to the end to hear the full story and all the details in the case. For the day one, fam, y'all already know it's all love. Thanks for tuning back into another episode. If you're new to the channel and you feeling the content, feel free to subscribe. Definitely hit that notification bell so you can be notified every time we drop a new video. Let's get right into the story. One thing about the streets is they have no picks. It doesn't matter where you come from, where you go, how you was raised, if you come from a good family or a bad family. Once you jump off that porch or in the mix of things, nobody is off limits. You don't even have to be active. Having a run-in or exchange of words with the wrong person can quickly turn you from a civilian to a target in certain environments. Whether it's beef over a girl, dudes that just don't like each other, or inherited problems because of where you from or the block you live. We all know good kids who have got caught up in crazy situations. I hear people sometimes say, oh, this the reason a person lost their life, because they had no guidance or came up from a messed up upbringing. But in reality, more than half the time, that's not the case. Your family tree can be full of doctors and lawyers. That doesn't mean everyone will walk in that same direction. People get to the point they make their own decisions and choose the life they want to live. And sometimes, unfortunately, your environment might choose for you. And on this episode of the Baltimore Way, we'll discuss a case of a lawmaker's grandson who was the target of an ambush. Back in 2017, Tyrone Ray Jr. was 22 years old and navigating the streets of Baltimore. Sad to be a good kid who worked odd jobs from time to time, who loved to ride dirt bikes and liked to be outside. He often hung out in Northeast Baltimore, around Bel Air Road where his grandparents lived at. Tyrone had members in his family that were well known in the public, including his grandfather, Thomas Branch, who was a Maryland state delegate and once chairman of the Black Caucus of Maryland. On September 4th, 2017, Tyrone was outside on Nicholas Avenue. It was a normal day, other than the fact the young man was on crutches because he broke his ankle in a dirt bike accident 2 weeks prior. There had been some shooting going on in the area, but nothing out the ordinary, and Tyrone was familiar with the neighborhood. Close to 12 p.m., a car pulled up by an alleyway in the area before realizing it was a dead end. The same car then pulled up by the 7-Eleven, but Tyrone wasn't too far from. Two men hopped out the whip and started bopping. Once they encountered Tyrone, there was a brief exchange of words before shots went off, and the men ran back to the whip and fled the scene. Since it was broad daylight, 12:30 p.m., many people were outside, and witnesses called BPD, who responded to the 4200 block of Nicholas Avenue to find Tyrone shot 24 times and pronounced gone on the scene, not too far from where his grandparents lived at. Witnesses who saw everything stated two men were lurking in the area for a few minutes until they saw Tyrone. They stated after a few words, it sounded like a war zone with multiple guns going off. BPD realized there was cameras all on the block from local stores. Video showed a white Infiniti pull up, two men get out, walking slowly. Then after a few minutes, the same men jogging away from where the shooting happened at. A bolo was put out for the car, as the tag number was also caught on video. As Tyrone's family received the news, they were devastated. His grandfather told the news he was 5 hours away from Baltimore and had to rush back home after receiving a call his grandson was shot. He also stated no one was exempt from the violence in the city, and he didn't know why Tyrone was targeted. As still images and video was released on the news, police asked for the public's help. They would soon get a call from an unlikely source, the Department of Parole and Probation, where two POs claimed to recognize one of the men involved in the shooting and stated it was 19-year-old Raekwon Thornton. Raekwon was from the same area, but a few blocks over on Emily Avenue. He had just finished an 18-month sentence for a previous gun case, and in August had completed his parole and probation a few weeks before the incident happened. The two POs were called down to the station, where they both pointed out Raekwon in a photo lineup, but the young man wasn't nowhere in the city. Eventually, about a month after going on a run, he was located and arrested in the Eastern Shore and brought back to the city by U.S. Marshals, charged with first-degree hit and weapon violations. As it was alleged, he was the taller man in the video. A few more months would go by, and the streets was talking. Local police in the area said they realized the other young man in the video also looked familiar. They stated they had an interview with him from 2015 and also encountered him a few times around the way. He was pointed out as 21-year-old Lamont Kyler. He was picked up in March and taken into custody, also charged with first-degree hit and weapon charges as well. As the case made its way to trial, neither two men admitted to the slaying of Tyrone or what was the reason behind the ambush, but more shooting would take place months after the situation in the same area. With surveillance video, witness testimonies, and the probation officers taking the stand, both Lamont and Raekwon were both sentenced to life plus 25 years in prison. After their conviction, Tyrone's family said they felt a sense of relief. As his grandfather stated, he would fight to change certain laws to help curb some of the violence in the city. Rest in peace to Tyrone. I send my prayers and condolences to the family. I'm not sure what these young men was beefing about, but to shoot over 24 times, broad daylight, it had to be serious. Plus Tyrone was on crutches at the time and couldn't have got away even if he tried. This is the prime example. You could come from a good upbringing. His people was a lawmaker and held high ranks in Maryland. But like I said, the streets has no picks. If you do something to somebody, or if somebody feels they want to get you out the way for whatever reasons, it doesn't matter who you are, who your peoples are, what time of day it is, or who is around. On the outside looking in, it definitely seems like a crash out move. But as men, we all got to make our own decisions. Is pulling that trigger, getting temporary satisfaction, worth life plus 25? But hey, that's the Baltimore way. Man, crazy story. Rest in peace that young man. I send my prayers to the family. Yeah, I ain't gonna talk too much more about this one. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Definitely be respectful. I appreciate you if you made it to the end. This is another episode of the Baltimore Way. Y'all already know it's all love, fam. It's your boy Tony 2 times.